Once upon a time, in the prosperous kingdom of Aryanagar, there was a king named Rudranath. He had inherited a flourishing empire from his hard-working father, but unlike his predecessor, King Rudranath despised hard work. He believed that because he was born a king, he did not need to make any effort. His ministers, soldiers, and people would do everything for him. Over time, his laziness began to affect the kingdom. The roads fell into disrepair, the farmers struggled without support, and corruption grew among the ministers who took advantage of the king's disinterest. Despite complaints from the people, the king refused to listen. "Why should I bother?" he would say. "I am the king. Others must serve me." One day, an old and wise minister named Vishrath decided to teach the king an important lesson. He approached King Rudranath and said, "Your Majesty, I have heard of a magical treasure hidden deep inside the forest of Shandampur. This treasure, once obtained, will ensure that you never have to work again, and your kingdom will prosper effortlessly." The king's eyes lit up. "A treasure that will make my life easier? Where is it?" Vishrath replied, "It is buried under an ancient banyan tree, but the journey is long, and only a true ruler can claim it. You must dig it out yourself." Eager to claim the treasure, the king set out on the journey. The path was treacherous, filled with thorny bushes and rocky trails. The king, unused to such hardship, complained at every step, but he refused to turn back, driven by the promise of a life of ease. After days of struggle, he finally reached the banyan tree. He picked up a shovel and began digging. Hours passed, but he found nothing. His hands, soft and unused to labor, developed blisters. His body, accustomed to luxury, ached from the effort. Furious, he turned to Vishrath, who had accompanied him. "You lied to me. There is no treasure here." The wise minister smiled. "But there is, Your Majesty. Look at your hands, once weak, now strong. Look at your body, once sluggish, now full of energy. Look at your mind, once impatient, now determined. You came here as a lazy king but return as a strong one. The treasure you sought was not gold but the lesson that hard work brings true power." The king stood in silence, realizing the wisdom in Vishratha's words. He had never worked before, yet he had endured this journey, and now he felt different, more capable, more alive. Upon returning to Aryanagar, King Rudranath transformed. He started personally overseeing the affairs of his kingdom, working alongside his ministers, soldiers, and farmers. Under his leadership, the roads were repaired, the fields flourished, and the people thrived once more. And so, King Rudranath learned the greatest lesson of his life: true rulers do not sit idly on thrones, they work alongside their people to build a better future. From that day forward, Aryanagar prospered like never before, and King Rudranath was remembered as the greatest ruler in its history, not because he was born a king, but because he worked like one.